Hello guys, welcome to another beginners Photoshop tutorial for graphic designers. Today we are going to be designing a simple poster that I found on Pinterest. I'm going to put the link to the original poster in the description so you can check the link in the description to see the original poster. So the purpose of this video is just to teach you, is understand how to use Photoshop to achieve graphic design. And without further delay, we are going to go into this tutorial. So I have opened here already my workspace. I'm going to make this a social media portrait dimension, which is 1315 by 1080 pixel. So as I always do, I would activate my margins, come to view, click on guides, new guide layouts. I'm going to set my margins to 80 pixels by 80 pixels. Click on OK. Is to add the background. So the background itself has a blue color on it. So I'm going to go to my solid color and change the color to blue. Something like this is fine. And there's something like a paper texture on the background. So now in Photoshop, I'm going to make this into a smart object first and foremost. All right, so having placed your texture this way, next thing I'm going to do is to come to my normal and I'm going to use multiply for this, right? So I'm going to also reduce it a little bit like that. The Let me set it to 25, just so it sorts like that, right? And the next thing I want to do is to bring in the image right here. And here's the image. So yes, after making your selection and converting into a smart object, you can just click and drag into your project. So I'm going to select this now and scale this down. So it's perfectly here like this. So I'm going to, of course, also still raise it up a little bit like this. Now, the next thing I want to do now is to draw a shape behind the. Oh, before I do that, I want to do a bit of edit on the image by using my camera raw filter. So computer, click on camera raw filter. And I'm just going to just bump up the contrast a little bit, make the white balance a bit, bring it a bit to blue, because and also add a little bit of grain to it, then reduce the opacity a little bit. I don't want it to be. Then you can also mess with the highlights a little bit. Okay. Yeah, right. Click on OK. And you're happy with how it looks. So the next thing I want to do now is to draw shapes behind my behind the image. So I'm going to go ahead to draw the shape right now. I'm going to use a rectangle shape. I'm just going to draw it over here like this. I'm going to bring it behind the object and I'm going to position it right here. So one thing I want to do is to make sure that my image itself is aligned to the center of my each time filling up, this is aligned. So next thing I'm going to do is to also align this. But I don't need to align to the center. I'm just going to set it right here like this. And the next thing I want to do is to round the edges of my shape like this. And I want to make the color green, like what we have here, it's here, right? I want to make it a kind of a bit brighter, like this. So the next thing I want to do now is to click and drag it all the way up like this. Not too much, just something like this. So the next thing I want to do now is to let me nudge it a bit to this side. Yes, much. Right. So next thing I want to do is now is to duplicate this like a few times, like 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now these three that I've duplicated, I want to make all of them color white. So I'm just going to come here and change the color right here to white. I have white here already, so select that. Now what I've done essentially is, let's start with this one. I'm going to move it out a little bit like this. I'm clicking and holding down my my shift button to move it on a straight line. I can actually set it to a value also. Yeah, so that it have that kind of look to it. So yes. So the next thing I'm going to move the second one also behind it. But we can't see it right now. Let me also change that to overlay. In fact, let me use soft light so that it won't be as strong. Let me use soft light. All right. Yes. So this so for this one, I'll set it to 50. Right. And I'm going to move the third one also. Just like that. Move it behind. And I'm going to also set that to soft lights. And set this to 25 actually. So it forms something like, let me hide this, a shadow behind it. So like a bouncing effect, right? And the next thing I'm going to do is to put a little bit of text here, which is push the limits. I'm going to come here and I'm going to type out that, which is push. Okay. I'm using Anton. That's the name of the font I'm currently using. So let me zoom in a bit more. Then you click on and drag. So push the, then make everything centralized. But before I do that, let me just move everything up and set it to center aligned. Right. And let me change it back to the move to and make sure they're in center. So what I want to do is that I'm going to press Command T or Control T on Windows and just click and drag to increase the size like that. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And I'm going to duplicate this push. I'm holding down my Alt right now, click and drag down. I'm holding down my Shift to move it on a straight line. And what I want to put here is limits. Limits. Right? And I'm also going to Command C or Control C on Windows. And holding down my Alt, click and drag from the corner. And I have it like that. So I'm going to select all three of them. I'm going to make sure they're aligned. Then I'm going to come to my character and change my character color to black. There's this black right here. And I'm going to group them, Command G or Control G via Windows to group. Then move it all the way to this place. Right? And what I want to do now is to make sure that it aligns to the center of the shape. So what I'm going to do is to select this, make this a selection, hold it down my control. If you're on Mac, that will be command, and click like the top right here, makes it a selection, and I aligns this shape to the middle, then Control D or Command D to select. So next thing I want to do now is to increase the size, right? Just like that. Then you just move it up a bit. Enter. I think it's too close to the ball, so I'm going to reduce it just a little bit, like that. So since I've done that already, the next thing I want to do now is to put just something like a motivational text right here. Something like a motivational text right here. Um, I can just come here and just draw out the text. And I'm going to make this left aligned. For this, I'm going to change the color to white. Change my color to white. And I'm just going to change the font to handwriting fonts. Going to use this particular writing font. I'm going to reduce the font size to 16. Going to big. Going to reduce the line spacing like this. Then I'm going to type out my text. So the text I want to put is the moment you to wait is the moment you need to shape pushing. Right. And yeah, I think there's an opportunity for me to actually just push this back a bit. Yeah, so I think there's an opportunity for me to increase the font. So let me set the font to 18 for that. And, my line spacing everything to 18. I think I'm good with that. So I'm just going to close up this. Right there. So yes, you can just simply have um, other things you want to add in case you have some other things you want to add there. You can have it, say if you just want to add your name or something. And just put some there. For this, I'm going to use Montserrat, right? I'm going to greatly reduce the size of that. Could actually have something that's right here. Let's call this tutorial. Hold down your shifts to move on a straight line and drop the file there. And we could duplicate this, so bring it down. At least you could just have a motivation to can't just write here person motivation. Motivation. Let's reduce this to 8. Service to yes. Bold, I can maybe just medium. Just move it up a bit. So what I want to do now is to increase the texture on the background. I think setting to 50 will be fine, right? And finally, like I always do, I would like to add my texture just above. So Control Shift and N together. Set your mode to overlay. Fill with neutral color. Okay. Filter. Noise. Add noise. Right. Click on OK. And let me set that to 50. Yes. And yes, we are good. That brings us to the end of this simple Photoshop tutorial. Catch you again next week, where I'll be teaching you how to use Photoshop again for graphic design. Please, if you have any questions, suggestions, I'm happy to read them in the comment section. Please do well to like, share this video, like and share this video with any other beginner graphic designer that you know who is interested in learning Photoshop. And until I catch you again next week, take care.